I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal for how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was called with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcast it like hey ya.
Yo, 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 yo. Party people in the place to be. It's your second main man, Chief Rocker, Coach Big Paisan, a.k.a. Coach Malpika in the house. What's good, everybody? Sorry I ain't seen y'all in a while. Y'all ready to get this party started right? Y'all want to get this party started quickly, right?
Yo.
Yes, sir.
Set it off. I suggest y'all set it
Set
off.
it
I
off.
suggest y'all set it off.
Set it off.
Set it off.
Set it off.
On your left. On your left.
What y'all know about the WAP? Remember that one?
Left, I suggest why you left. Hey, what's good, Coach?
What's good, guys? What's up, man? I had my 3-day weekend of work, man. 3 12-hour shifts in a row.
Them.
I'm hurting.
Getting that paper.
Yeah. That's one positive to that is getting that bag.
Getting that paper.
And I'm looking forward to. I got tonight off, got tomorrow off. Then I work 2 days, and I have my good stretch where I got 3 days off. So
yeah, man.
So I've definitely been in tune with what's been going on with the Knicks. I snuck in on a couple of the game day broadcasts. That rough one we had the last game.
Had a couple rough ones, man.
Man, some heartbreakers, man. Heartbreaking.
Yeah, yo. So the title of the joint, man, is can the Knicks figure things out? Can we figure things out? And so, chat, if you tune in, if you didn't get a chance to look at the thumbnail or understand where we're going with it, I'm not asking you for the fix. I'm asking you, chat, Knicks Nation, does the Knicks front office have the ability to self-correct? That's what the thing is. Can the Knicks figure things out? Not the things part. Can the Knicks part is what we're focused on. Mm-hmm. Soulfinger is in the building. What's good, Soulfinger?
Soulfinger. So yeah, man. Hey, when you have the kind of start that we had, like I said this to you before, I think it was one of our conversations on the phone. Man, this team they're showing little signs of like for a quarter, like for most of the fourth quarter this last game, like there's some quarters we look like the 4 seed in the East.
Yep.
And then there's some quarters we look like we the lottery.
Right.
And unfortunately, the lottery part gets us in trouble in a lot of these games.
Right.
You know, and where that comes into play, when you become an NBA fan in general, and not just the Knicks fan too, you start to look at the landscape of there's some other teams out there that were supposed to be good. They're struggling too.
Right.
There's a lot of turmoil and weird situations and little stories from other teams. I know we don't care much about other teams, but
Situations.
that when you look at other teams though, and when you start talking about the front office, like our front office, if they're supposed to be doing their due diligence, which is getting this team better,
yeah,
be the best product as possible,
yeah,
you would like to think they're looking at these other situations too.
right.
And when we speak of these other situations, one of the ones I'm thinking about is I saw a story earlier today was that Dallas Mavericks, they're actually, and I don't know if this was a troll story or one of them fake internet stories, something that sucks about getting your info off the internet, is I saw a thumbnail with Kemba. They're considering talking to Kemba Walker.
Kemba Walker, bro. How desperate, bro.
So
you have to be.
When you start hearing that, and then you think about that little story that leaked like a couple weeks ago, or like when D Rose just got hurt, when they were maybe thinking about D Rose, so they must be looking for a point guard, because I think they're losing. Maybe Jalen Brunson was a more important piece of that puzzle, guys,
than what people let on, or what was. Yeah, the obvious thing is that team's not the same without Jalen Brunson. They knew that, though.
Yeah. So what that says for us as the Knicks, well, number one, I think we're lucky to have him, even though he didn't make a couple of clutch baskets at the end of the last game. But, there's a lot of superstars that haven't done that all the time. But it's one of those situations where, we wouldn't have been in that situation for him to make those shots if it wasn't for him anyway. You know what I'm saying? He got us to that almost in that game,
right,
as well as some other guys.
Jay Bookie pointed out a point about that unclutch moment.
Mm-hmm.
About the unclutch moment, though, it wasn't the most unclutch moment of all by Jalen Brunson, but RJ on the inbound hovered around behind Jalen Brunson where he couldn't go immediately and had to wait till RJ cleared, took some seconds off the clock.
Yeah.
And so it forced Jalen Brunson to maybe take a shot he wasn't comfortable taking, didn't have enough time to get into the shot that he wanted to take.
Yeah, this team's having too many mental breakdowns, man.
Mental breakdowns, bro.
Too many, man. Too many. And they're coming from guys we're counting on. That's what sucks.
Right.
Like we're not good enough to overcome that stuff, man.
Is RJ Barrett looking shook to you?
Man, I like the way he played last game, but he did make some. He's making some shook mistakes though. Like I know what you're saying. Like he's doing some weird stuff once in a while. He makes some just dumb decisions, or just like he loses the ball and puts himself in these weird positions where he's got to pick up his dribble or pass it in a weird angle, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he's putting himself in these weird positions. Like, bro, you already went that far. Just go to the rim, I guess.
Just go. Just do something.
And then sometimes it's like he remembers halfway through his drive, like, oh shit, sorry, oh crap, I think I need to, I should be getting other people involved. It's like he remembers it halfway into his drive, and he doesn't know when to shoot or pass. It looks sloppy,
Yeah,
but he shot better. He
shot better.
He made some good. He did make some good layups in that game.
Yeah.
But to your point before with the Leon Rose thing and the GM thing and what I was referring to with looking around the league, I think one of the two biggest problems the Knicks have. Well, the one obvious one is we don't have that superstar go-to guy we can 100% count on yet.
Right.
That's obviously number one.
Right.
But the two big glaring things that I feel it's a widespread problem on a roster is we don't have a very high basketball IQ as a team. And the other thing is we have too many inconsistent basketball players. Okay.
Right.
So, and a lot of people call some players role player. We don't even have, there's some of these guys that don't even deserve to be called role players yet.
Right.
Because they ain't even playing their dang role right.
Okay.
On a consistent basis. You know what I mean? So let me elaborate on that. As far as a role, like being a consistent, counted on role player for a professional team that wins games, that's a huge compliment. At least in my eyes. Like some people throw out that role player word as a slight.
Right.
I think it's a compliment.
Right.
I mean, what do you feel about that?
About a role player? About the term role player?
Yeah. Like a role player is someone that does their job. They play their role. You can count on them. For instance.
Hey, chat. Y'all like how Coach asked me that question? Didn't let me answer.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The chat.
Rhetorical alert.
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
I'll let you elaborate after this is just us two for now. But like once I get done, I'll let you rock with it. So, or like for instance, Mitchell Robinson. He's a role player. Like, and on our team, his role, we need him to play defense, be a rim protector, and get offensive boards and make easy buckets and lobs for us once in a while. Mitchell Robinson is literally probably our most consistent role player on our team. I will give him credit for that.
Okay.
Is he what's best for the future of our team? Is he the best guy for the job in every moment of the game, each game? No, he's not. Not always.
Okay.
But for the role that Mitchell Robinson plays, he is the most consistent New York Knick that plays his role.
Right.
Okay. So that, and some people know I'm a Hartenstein lover and Hartenstein Hive guy, and my wanting Hartenstein to play more minutes, it's all situational for me. There's some situations I think he should be in the game if he's used the way his role should be. Hartenstein's role is different than Mitch Robinson's role. But unfortunately, this coaching staff hasn't realized that. They're trying to use
Elaborate, Coach.
Okay. Hartenstein has already said it himself in an interview before that the Knicks are having him play a traditional center role like Mitchell Robinson. And Hartenstein does not have the same skill set. So why would you have someone like Jericho Sims try to play like Mitchell Robinson when you should be tuning your game plan around your players? You shouldn't force your players to play a scheme that they're not built for.
Okay.
That's the problem here. We got a lot of guys that in the right scheme, their skill set can be better utilized.
Okay.
Guys like Hartenstein, Cam Reddish, even Quentin Grimes. Right. Some of them guys can flourish in better schemes that work towards their skill set. That's not an apologist. That's not making excuses for people. Some people flourish in different situations. If you're uncomfortable at your job and don't like what you're doing, and they're having you do things that you don't know that you're not good at, you're not going to perform well at your job.
Okay. But
if you're really good at setting up Excel spreadsheets and doing all the paperwork and the office work, and they have you do that, and all of a sudden you look like a great employee. But then if they get little Edna, who's been at the company for 20 years doing it and don't know how to turn on the computer, and you have her making all that stuff. She don't know what the hell she's going to do a bad job at it, and everyone's going to think she's a bad employee. It's not that. It's just she doesn't have those skills to perform that job properly. Okay. That's just an analogy, I'm making, but it's the same thing when it comes to. So I'm all over the map with this, but what I'm just trying to say in the end is, I feel this team has a lot of tools in the toolbox to be a good team, but we need the right architect.
So define good.
I think if you mean good players?
No, you said good team.
Like, we shouldn't be putting ourselves in these positions in these games. Like some of these games we should be winning outright that we've been losing,
right? Because
of the talent. Like, the people just say our team is like, our own fans. Some are saying, "Oh, this team just sucks. They're just trash," and they got nothing to back it up. But, like, the reasons why they think that we're trash. Mm-hmm. They just see what the end result is and just automatically equate it to, "Oh, we suck." No, it's more to it. There's more to the story, guys.
Yeah, well, to the basic fan, it all comes down to wins and losses. Either you do it or you don't. You know what I'm saying? And to the basic fan, to the basic fan, just do basic commentary. If you're a basic fan, just just say, don't overanalyze, right? If you're a basic fan, just like, yo, we lost, we suck, or yay, we won, we the champions. It's never as simple as it's never cut and dried like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And this is a results league. Obviously, it's obvious. We play to win the game. Hello,
Right.
I get that, but it's not black and white like that, man. There's shades of gray.
Right. But if you're a basic fan, basic fans are going to say that. You know what I'm saying? For people that are for one, a lot of people that and just to get a clear thing, and so I'm going to get into my Michael K thing real quick. To a lot of fans, man, a lot of fans have never even played sports. They don't understand a lot of the stuff a lot of the things that go into, a player, what I'm saying? Like a player's mentality, what I'm saying? The medical stuff that a player will go through. But, like, for instance, a player will maybe will hurt himself and, say 4 games ago and decides to play through it as opposed to sitting out. And then during the 3 games up to this game, his stats will be off and people will say he sucks. Mm-hmm. Not taking into account that their player is playing injured, playing hurt. You know what I'm saying? Or there might be a thing that goes on, like there may be like a tweak to shot form, and before the shot gets better, it gets a lot worse before it gets better. You know what I mean? I'll give you an example. RJ Barrett's practicing shooting during the summer, right? At the beginning of every season, his shot goes into the toilet because he's making the adjustment from the improvements he made on his shot during the summer. And no matter how many laps you run and no matter how often you do things during the summer, it doesn't prepare you for game action. I don't care how many running backs drills you do during the summertime. It don't prepare you for getting hit by the other team linebackers. It just doesn't. You know what I'm saying? And so RJ Barrett will come into the season, he'll struggle because he's trying to implement that new shot form into a real game action, and it looks worse before it looks better, right? And so then when RJ warms up, the people that said RJ Barrett sucks trade him to the Orlando Magic for Mo Bamba are then saying in December, January, February, March, we love RJ Barrett. I got his RJ Barrett tattoo on my bicep. You know what I'm saying? Like the pendulum swings. So So what I'm saying is Knicks fans basically swing the hammer, right? They're gonna swing the hammer, right? When we lose, they're gonna swing the hammer hard. When we win, guess what? They're gonna swing the hammer hard. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes it just looks like, you know what I'm saying? It just looks like, some Knicks fans are gonna be haters, and then you have the group that's gonna be the people that think about life negatively, and they are going to tell you they are realists.
Yeah.
I'm a realist. I keep it real. Oh, okay. You keep it real. I think you keep it negative, right? And then you have the people that are optimists that keep thinking, they always look at your star can't do any wrong. Oh man, he Jalen Brunson. Give Jalen Brunson yesterday, right? The Knicks lost. He was 8 for 20 from the field, but he was 11 to 12 from the free throw line. The optimists are going to say Jalen Brunson played an excellent game yesterday, right? He missed 2 attempts to tie and win the game, right? The optimists are going to say, oh, man, at least he had a shot to win it. We were in the game. You know what I'm saying? Then there are neutral people like myself that like to stay in the middle. Like, I like to hear the argument from both sides and then make my determination, right? I don't root for the positive side. I don't root for the negative side. I like to stay straight down the middle and make my own determination based on what I see, right? After all the details are turned in, I like to make my determination then, right? What that looks like to, Coach, you know what I look like to the people that are on the negative side, and then on the positive side, man, Uncle Freezy, wish-washy.
Yeah.
Changing this. Nah, man, I've been neutral.
He's a flip-flopper. He's a flip-flopper.
Yeah, I've been neutral the whole time. I just don't go way off on one side or way off on the other side. I like to stay in the middle. So there's like, man, he always agree with Coach. No, I don't.
That's just, yeah.
So to your point, you can't please him though. Especially this Knicks fan base. Knicks fan base, bro. If we don't get a star, if we don't get a star, you got to tank, right? And if you don't win this game, everybody sucks.
Yeah,
there's no middle ground. Only the Knicks.
Extremists, bro. The extremists are bad in everything. Okay,
Right.
there's no.
Which one are you?
I tend to be.
Are you a positive Knicks fan?
Yeah, I mean, I'm positive when I believe it calls for it.
Okay.
Like, I see things. I lean positive, but I'm realistic when it comes to that. Like, I'm not gonna say, yeah, it's the whole half full, half empty argument. Okay,
Right.
I'm gonna say it's half full but I'm gonna acknowledge the shortcomings and the negative things. But then I'm also gonna say, but however, I think it could be he's fixable or he's doing this well. So we need to, boost that up and see what we can do to fix the things that are going wrong. I'm not gonna say, well, he's doing 2 or 3 things wrong. He's trash.
Right.
Like when I got a lot of flack for calling Obi trash a while back.
Yeah, you did drop the hammer on Obi.
And the thing is, has he really shown any different besides hitting a little couple extra threes this year? I'm sorry, I'm not saying I told you so, but he's still not doing the things that we'd like him to do. Or a guy that's supposed to be in his position. We need a guy that comes in for Randall, okay, that can give us rebounds,
right,
that can defend the post a little bit,
right,
and we can count on him to do post stuff and inside game stuff. If not, you're just an oversized stiff 3 that can jump. I mean, that's what and I'm not just trying to define the role of what a power forward should be, because you notice I didn't try to say the word power forward. I mean, it's just he's
a jumbo 3.
Yeah, but that doesn't have three. Like we have a lot of guys. Like we have, like RJ is an undersized 4
Right.
that can't shoot.
Right.
So we have all these positionless guys, but for the wrong reason that they're positionless. We need positionless guys that can play a lot
multiple
of
positions.
do things well. Yeah.
Right.
We don't want guys that have like limitations,
Right.
you know, and that's why they're positionless, because they have limitations. We want
Right.
guys that are positionless because they do some good stuff,
Right.
aka Cam Reddish, you know.
Right.
So, and I think Hartenstein's a guy that he could be doing things like that stretch fours do, even though and he's just not being given those opportunities. Like I'm not saying he's that good of a shooter, but practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's the whole thing, the same, um, the same thing, and the part where I say he's a stretch four, where he could play that role a little bit, is getting the ball at the top and facilitating other people and making an occasional outside shot to keep people honest from the outside, from the outside, you know. So, and he is a five.
Right.
He's a modern 5, but he's not being used that way. They're trying to use him like Mitch, and he's not Mitch. Mitch has his own skill set that he's good at, and don't have your 2 backups try to do that role too. Like we're not asking D Rose or Quickly to do exactly what Brunson does when they come in the game, or McBride. Why are you asking the backup guys to do what Mitch does? So I just for me, I just see a lot of mismanagement of so. And when I say talent, I'm not saying we're top 3 seed talent.
Right.
And this isn't me conceding to being okay with mediocrity or being okay to be in oblivion. And purgatory and all that stuff. It's not saying I'm accepting that and I'm okay with it, but this is what we got. And to me, what we got is, if I was coaching this team, I'm not saying I'm the basketball whisperer or coach whisperer, but there's a lot of things I would do different. And it's not because I'm just being this irrational fan that just likes a certain player and that's why I want him to play. I don't think Hartenstein should start. I some games and some matchups he's good for, just like same thing with Quentin Grimes and Cam Reddish. There are certain games where they both need to be in the game because the other team's got 2, athletes that we need to cover. Both them suckers need to be in because they're the only 2 we got that can cover somebody.
So
we have a mismanagement of some talent. We got a baseline talent to be a middle seed, playoff seed. We are talented enough. If everyone was playing the right role that they should be playing and the right scheme that fits their talents. Like, we're not good enough to overcome bad coaching.
I would say I agree with you some.
Okay.
But I also say this team has a lot of dudes with not overall low IQ, but low IQ in the moment. Adam, what's good, man?
Right.
What's good? What's good? Salute, coach.
Salute, brother. Adam.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Like,
I would say, like, for instance, it's the dime back, like the 4th corner that comes in and it's 4th down, and it happens. It rarely happens. Like maybe once a season. It's like
performance anxiety.
It's like 4th down and 38, right? It's like 4th down and 38, right? And a quarterback throws a ball straight to a dime back on 4th down and 38, and he catches it for an interception, right? Now, he's on the stat sheet, and it is officially a turnover. But you know what happens if he bats that ball down?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of getting the football way out there where he caught it at, you get the ball at the original line of scrimmage.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a 40-yard change in field position. But that DB has been taught when the football comes his way to catch it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But on 4th down and 38,
bat that sucker down.
You need to bat that thing down so that you can get field position way up there at the original line of scrimmage. You know what I'm saying? But the DB gets on a stat sheet, right? He gets his one interception for the year.
And then guys like us in our chat say how great he is because he has another interception.
Yeah. But the high IQ play right there, coach, would be to bat that ball down. Right? But it's hard to tell somebody when they could do something that's perceived good because if he bats that ball down, you know what's going to happen? He's not going to have an interception. He'll probably get a deflected pass check on his stat sheet.
Yeah.
But he won't have an interception, right? And then when you look at stats at the end of the season, he'll have a 0 in that interception column.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
you know what guy the Knicks need? The guy that bats the ball down.
That's what the person with the high IQ in the moment.
And we need the guy that goes on a long run at the end of a game where you're in a one-score game against somebody, and instead of scoring a touchdown and giving them the ball back, right, you slide at the 1 or 2 yard line and you don't score.
Right. So you can run off more clock.
That's what a smart team player does.
Right. Especially in a one possession game late in the clock. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, time. It's understanding time and score, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? What's more important, you scoring or you taking a lot of time off the clock and them having to burn timeouts? You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of stuff that go into it.
And that goes with coaching too. Okay. Now there's coaches out there. Now, I'm sorry. Mitch was playing great in last game. He was having a good game. I'll give him credit. But there's no universe where every little point counts and you're both in the penalty. You should not have one soul out there that shoots less than 70%.
Right. From the free throw
Period.
line.
From the free throw line. Period. Mm-hmm. Case closed. Because the drop off on defense is not that. I'd rather have no center out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care Steven Adams or whoever the heck center's out there. You can't have guys that can't shoot at the line in the game that's that close.
Right. Right. And coach, what that's why when you said this team is good, I asked you to clarify. Because the team being good is a lava lamp. You ever had a lava lamp? You know how sometimes the stuff in it sometimes is up, sometimes it's down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The thing I might need to get one. I might need to buy one off Amazon. But anyway, what I'm getting at is the team has a number of low IQ plays that when you saw that game and you say the team is up or down, you just can't equate it to the shots made. You have to equate it to how did we get shots? Like I saw Jalen Brunson, and I mentioned it this morning, right? I saw Jalen Brunson go into the Brunson burner, and y'all know what I call it the Brunson burner because it's a mouthful to say Jalen Brunson gets a smaller size, gets a matchup he likes, and takes him to the post. I just call it the Brunson burner, right? Jalen Brunson gets in the Brunson burner, and his outlet man is Obi Toppin. As soon as I saw that, I was like, that's the dumbest man. Who? If they double team Jalen Brunson and he kicks it out to Obi, what's Obi gonna do? Does Obi give you the sensation that he can create offense, attack a closeout? No. Obi gives you the sensation in that situation that if you kick it to him for three, he can get off a nice 3-point shot. And he might make it. Right? But you're forcing Obi to be a decision maker now? You know what? And do you know what Derrick Rose was? And I know you didn't hear this morning, right? You know what Derrick Rose was on this play, Coach? He was on the backside corner, 2 feet away from Hartenstein. And you know what Hartenstein told him? Go, get away from me. What are you doing over? You could see him pushing Rose.
Yeah.
Like, get away from me. You need to go over that way.
Right.
Telling basically one man can defend 2 people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Derrick Rose should have been in front of Jalen Brunson in case the double team came on Jalen Brunson. Derrick Rose can catch the ball, dribble away, rotate the ball to the opposite side, and either kick to Obi for 3 on the wing or Hartenstein in the corner for 3. Right? But this play was so low IQ that when the double team did come, Jalen Brunson had to dribble all the way out away from the double team. Meanwhile, the shot clock is running down. Now you trying to kick out to Grimes for a smothered 3.
Right.
So what did you actually attain there? Nothing. Because Obi is standing in front of, it's the weirdest thing. That's what I'm saying. Like when you say the team is good, bro, you know Tom Thibodeau didn't tell Obi to go be the outlet man.
I said the talent I said we could be good with the talent.
No, you said the team. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But I'm just driving home the point. My point, which is a separate point from what you said.
Right.
I'm saying
you're right.
That the team is not a low IQ team. They do have what they call the blonde moment. You know what I'm saying? At times.
Sometimes they have like performance anxiety thing.
Yeah.
Like,
why is Obi the outlet on that?
Yeah.
Why is Obi the outlet on it? Has Obi ever given you the vibes that he'll just saw somebody up and take somebody off the dribble?
No.
Never.
Usually it's just someone's closing out on him and he has that straight line speed. He does like one cut and explodes in the basket. You know?
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Coach. That's what I'm getting at. Like, I'm not knocking your point. Matter of fact, I think the 2 points go together like Felix and Oscar.
The odd couple. So, but just to address some of you guys, like, and what my point about Mitch was, it had nothing to do with. I was not hating on Mitch. It's okay that he can't shoot that well. I'm talking about from a coaching perspective. You got to be more aware of the situation. And there's a lot of times those great centers that won championships, they weren't in the game to close out some of them games. Even Shaq. That's why they had the term hack-a-Shaq for a reason.
Right.
Shaq wasn't in the game sometimes to close out games. Right. It's easy to win a championship. No offense, Shaq. And I'm not saying Kobe and D. Wade, helped you win. But they did. Shaq couldn't do it by himself, guys. Sorry.
There was a finals though that Shaq had. For his career, I think for Shaq's career in the finals, I think Shaq is like 34-15. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, I take my chances with Shaq getting to the finals, bro. But listen. This is what I wanted. This is what I want to get to just real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The low IQ stuff is frustrating for a coach because if he can't trust you in certain situations, he's not going to play you in certain situations.
Right.
You want more minutes. It's like the running back with breakaway speed, right? It's like the back with breakaway speed, but he fumbles in short yardage. So you know what the coach is going to do? In short yardage, you ain't getting no touches.
Right.
It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying?
You become a situational player, man.
Yeah, yeah. And even though you
A specialist.
and then people be like, yo, when he hit the edge, he gone. The thing is
And when you touch him,
but when you touch him, he gone. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now you see what I'm talking about. Like low IQ plays hurt us a lot.
Yeah, because and the thing is, I say we could be good. We're a pretty good team, but we're not good enough to overcome that too.
Right.
Like
Wilson Ding is in the building. Shout out to Wilson Ding. It's good to see you, brother.
Ty
Barbie in the building.
Yo, and this, like I said, I got to keep ramming this home. I'm not accepting the fact that we're only this record because I'm pissed that we're this record because I think we're better. We could be better than this record. As awful as you guys think we're playing, we're supposed to be below Detroit.
Right. Or
like what y'all are. And when I say y'all, this only pertains to whoever this pertains to. I'm not saying everyone in the chat's like this, but the ones that are just doom and gloomers, the nothing's ever good enough types. The way y'all are talking, we didn't win a game yet. So if we're playing
not everybody in the chat. It's just
I know.
People.
Yeah, a few.
Yeah,
but like 9 to have 9 wins and be playing this bad, we must be pretty good. Think about that.
Yeah.
As bad as we're playing, and it's supposedly as bad as our coach is coaching, how the heck are we only 1 or 2 games under 500? We should be like 2-15 right now.
Yeah.
If we're that bad.
Yeah. Just based off of what a couple people say. But you know what though? The team does have these low IQ moments. You know what I'm saying? A couple low IQ moments that in close games, all the other team needs is for you to have a blunder and they can pull away from you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And and here's the thing. Great teams can overcome mistakes like that. Now, our margin for error isn't that, we can't afford to be inconsistent, make dumb plays, and miss our shots.
Yeah.
Like, we can't. We're a 1 out of 3 win team with that. Like, if one of those things happen in the game, we could probably still win. But if 2 or 3 of those things happen, it's a wrap.
Right.
Right. Hey, Coach, I wanted to ask you, if you look at the Knicks schedule in the month of December, how many games do you think the Knicks are going to win in the month of December against the teams that they're going to face?
Look, call me a homer, okay? Call me an optimist. Call me a glass half full guy. Call me a glass full guy. If our players are used properly and they play to their full potential, we can win every one of these damn games. And that's the God honest truth. That is the truth. Our team has enough talent, and we're good enough. If we play to the talent that we are, we make our shots, stop making dumb mistakes. We get the players get put in positions that they can succeed. We can win all these games. That's just the truth. Now, do I think that's going to happen? Hell no.
No.
Because we haven't shown we can do that consistently, unfortunately.
Right.
So if I was a betting man, 500.
I would say
we're going to win half and lose half.
I would say, besides Brunson, this roster that the Knicks have, it's not a good enough roster to compete against teams like the Bucks, the 76ers, the Bulls, the Charlotte Hornets.
But what do you mean? We have competed with these teams already,
and we lost against them.
Didn't we beat the 76ers?
No, we can't beat the 76ers.
Yes, we did. We beat the 76ers.
We beat them already.
We can't beat the Celtics.
Yeah,
Or
we
the
beat the Sixers,
Bucks.
but the Sixers
Okay.
had it was a
You're
Friday
talking about
night.
the best two teams in the league.
It was a Friday night, and they had
Yeah.
James Harden and Joel Embiid out.
This roster is not good enough to compete against those teams.
Yeah, well, Detroit isn't good enough
and
to beat the Warriors.
So
They beat them.
instead of saying that, man, tell us why. Why you think that, Adam?
Look at the players the Knicks have.
We do that. We've been looking at them all year, but why do you feel like that?
It's been years that I've watched this Knicks team, and every time we play the Bucks, the 76ers, the Hawks.
All right, well, that doesn't. You got to give us some substance, buddy. I'm sorry. At this point, I'm personally tired of people coming on the panel and chat.
Coach,
just like, well, you asked for some substance, and he's talking about years ago.
But let him finish. Though. Let him get in his bag.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you, buddy. Go ahead.
What I see is that this roster is not playing as a unit. They're not playing as a team. They're just slow at certain parts of the game. They're missing a lot of wide open shots, and the roster is just not good enough to compete against the good teams in the league. Now, if somehow the front office feels that they need to go out and get some shooters, then they need to do that because we need help ASAP. The way I'm seeing this Knicks team this year and in the past 15 years, they haven't been playing that great. And this type of roster, it's not going to win them a championship.
All right, so that's the thing. That's the thing I wanted to hear you say. Okay, all right. So that's what you're getting at. This team, as currently constructed, is not good enough to win a championship. But Adam, and for others of y'all, Gregory Castillo's in the chat. Gregory Castillo was good. David L, man, I see you. Top Notch T, I see y'all, man. White Falcon, East Blue Drew, I see y'all, man. Salute to y'all. Hey, Adam, you know what though? I think you and I and Coach knew at the beginning of the season that this team wasn't capable of winning the championship. And that game, in that game 20. In that game 20, just to say that this team is not good, you know what I'm saying? It's something that we knew already. We knew this team wasn't going to win a championship. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm feeling what Coach is saying about maybe, you know what I'm saying, the bug is already smashed. Why keep smashing it? You know what I'm saying? I'm with Coach on that one, right? But here's the thing too, though. Coach thinks that, and I think to a certain extent, but I'm separate from Coach. Like Coach thinks this team has the potential to do something greater than they've shown, right? I'm in a mindset of let's wait and see. And it appears that you think that they don't, based off of what you said, that they don't have the talent to do anything. So I think we all have three different opinions, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. My thing is at 20 games, from what I've seen, I think this team is going to be basically the same team after 40 games. You know what I'm saying? And basically the same team after 60 games. I don't see low basketball IQ plays going away just because these guys are going to be in different situations. The game happens so fast that you have to think the game so quickly, process things so quickly, that sometimes we get in those spots and we just go back to the things that we're comfortable with because it's safe. You know what I'm saying? Like RJ Barrett defended people 40 feet out on the floor. RJ, first of all, nobody is shooting a 40-foot three-point shot. Why are you even out there? Right? Cam Reddish. Yeah. Why are you out? Why are you guarding somebody 40 feet away from the basket? They're not going to shoot. Coach, if somebody attempted a 40-foot three-pointer, would you allow them to have it? Bro, you got to make two of them before I come out here.
The only one that I'm defending out there is Curry. That's about it.
Man, From 40 feet, I'm not
Trae
smothering
Young.
you at 40 feet.
No, you're right.
You got to make 2 of them before I even come out there. That's
Exactly.
low basketball IQ, right? That's low basketball IQ. Why am I out here at 40 feet? You know what I'm saying? Now I understand putting pressure on the basketball and turning the offensive player, getting him off his spot, make them run offense from an uncomfortable place on the floor. I understand that if it's an average point guard, but I'm not guarding John Morant out here. You feel me?
Right. And my thing is this. It's not that I'm over. When I say I think we can win all the games if we play to our potential, that's the truth. Right. So, and it's not that, but it doesn't mean that that's what I think is going to happen. I'm realist when it comes to the fact that obviously I know we're going to make bonehead plays. Okay. Obviously, I know Tibbs is not going to put guys in the right scheme for their talents sometimes. Right. So if I was a betting man, that's exactly what I said. What you said, we're going to be about 500.
Yeah, we're going to be in the same position
because I know all those factors. Or you know how many teams that had all the talent in the world, like the best team, like talent wise, is not always win, guys. I know this ain't the first time this has ever happened.
Right.
I know we're short on talent. Obviously, we don't have spades and high level superstar talent, but we got spades and we got a couple next tier guys and we got a couple solid guys. Now, are they consistent? Hell no. If some of those guys were consistent, they would be all-stars. Period.
Right. Okay.
Like if Randall stopped his bonehead plays that he makes sometimes, and he was consistently,
he's not the only one though.
No, I know, and he was consistent all the time, he would be a multiple-year all-star.
Right.
If Jalen Brunson keeps going on this trajectory he's at now and stays there and starts making those shots he missed at the end of this game, he's going to be an all-star.
Right.
Okay?
So you know who RJ Barrett reminds me of, Coach? He reminds me of Tommy Frazier.
Yeah, I remember him.
You remember Tommy Frazier from Nebraska?
Nebraska. So you trying to say RJ Barrett's got blood clots in his arms? That's why he can't shoot?
No. What I'm saying,
sorry, that's what happened. For y'all who don't know, Tommy Frazier, that's what ended his career. He unfortunately had blood clots in his legs.
Yeah, man, but you know what it is the reason why Tommy Frazier was so good is because he is what you call a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
Right? He could turn that corner and he was gone.
Right.
Gone, bro. If he ever hit the line of scrimmage, your DBs had to be in a full-out sprint. You know what I'm saying? There were no linebackers and D linemen catching him. Right? But the thing about it is when teams started putting 11 people in the box against Tommy Frazier, you know what happened? He started running into these backers, bro, running into dudes like Andy Katzenmoyer, running into these LeVar Arringtons, you know what I'm saying, in college. And they probably didn't play, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so what happened is you never heard anything else from Tommy Frazier because Tommy Frazier never had the ability to throw the forward pass.
Yeah.
Right.
Once you took his legs away from him,
yeah,
that was his bag.
And the same thing with RJ Barrett. When I can't reiterate more the fact that Jalen Brunson went around the perimeter, took the dribble handoff from Mitch, went to the right. Right, RJ Barrett was in the corner. He called RJ and passed RJ the ball on the right wing, right. And he was about to go and give RJ Barrett space. RJ Barrett called him back to set a screen for him. So Jalen Brunson sets a screen for RJ. RJ turns the corner on the screen, and there are 3 Golden State Warriors just filing their attack. They're standing there like bodyguard. Really, RJ? Really? You could have took your man off the dribble by going right. You're gonna come back left into traffic And RJ just spin around and went back the other way. So we're like, RJ, yo, if the fans know you only go left, Brunson set you up so that you can go right. You had the opportunity to go right, and you chose to go back left. Come on, RJ,
And
coach.
you wonder what RJ's thinking there.
RJ Barrett is thinking. RJ Barrett was thinking, go left and barrel into every Golden State Warrior he sees and throw up a prayer and beg for a foul call. That's what he was thinking.
Now, I want to say this. I do agree with you, Coach, when you said that the Knicks team, talent-wise, can win every game. I do believe that this Knicks roster has some talent, but they're not consistent.
Right.
And the problem with this team that I'm seeing is that they're doing way too many double team. They're leaving too many wide open 3-point shots. They're missing their 3-point shots. And that's the reason why I said that this team roster doesn't have the talent to compete, because the way they're constantly double teaming and leaving these wide open 3-point shots.
What type of talent are you talking about? Are you just talking about the physical ability to recover, or are you talking about like star status?
I'm talking about every time the Knicks go on defense, you see two guys on one guy. And that's why when the team makes a pass to a wide open guy behind the 3-point line, he hits 3-pointer because there's nobody there to guard him.
Well, but I think the problem with that is because of our low IQ, the other guy that's supposed to be shifting
Already
over,
rotated. Yep.
yeah, he ain't rotating properly. That's a mentality program, not a problem, not a athleticism or talent problem.
Yeah.
That's a brain problem.
And it may be a system problem.
Yeah, and it's a system too.
First off, this team should not be double teaming. They need to guard man on man, and then there won't be but
Adam,
shots.
Think about that. According to you, our talent's not good enough, so we're not good enough to cover people man to man.
That's true.
So that's what I'm saying, and I don't mean to, to go against what you're saying. I'm not saying you represent all the people that have these complaints, but you're not the only one that says that. So the same people that say, "Oh, we need to play man-to-man defense. We need to play this." Well, if you don't think we're talented enough, we can't play man-to-man. So that's where I'm saying, coaches. What defines a good coach to me? Tibbs is a good coach for the kind of players that play his system that fit what he does. But if you're not a coach that adapts to your players, you're not a good coach. If you don't get the most out of what your players' talent, that defines a good coaching job. Any coach that gets the absolute most out of their players is a good coach.
Okay. Yeah.
Like,
the last thing I want to say is and Coach, you probably gonna rip my head off when I say this. To me, I can see this Knicks team winning no more than 35 games.
You might be right, and it's not.
I could be wrong.
No, the thing is I'm not discrediting anyone that says that. Like, I don't mind people saying that if that decision is made in reality. Whereas if you just think, if your reason for saying our record's not going to be that good is because our team just sucks and we're not good enough, then I'm sorry. You're just being a hater for no reason. Now, if you're saying that we're going to be only a 35 win game is because, you know what? We're not consistent enough. We keep making bad mistakes. Our coach isn't putting his team in the right position for our team to win, and we're not quite good enough to overcome those shortcomings. Then I agree with you 100%. I'm with you, and that's why I don't think we can win more than 35 to 40 games for that reason. However, if we fix those things, it's not me being a homer. It's reality. if we find a way to fix some of those things, we can win 45 games.
Right.
You know, we can get close to 50 games. I know it sounds crazy to say out loud, but it's true. Do I think we're gonna fix all these things? No.
Nah,
I wish we can.
Yeah. So the thing about basketball IQ is this: you learn a lot of things through experience, right? You learn a lot of things through experience, right? The thing about basketball IQ though, you have to put in the film study and listen to your coaches and add it to experience, right? Basketball IQ is just not something that you wake up with. You know, people learn things at different speeds. I get it, right? But what I'm saying is this: some of these things from third and fourth year players are things that you teach first and second year players, right? And so some of this stuff, if you don't have it by now, it appears that you're making a personal decision not to do it, right? That you know what this thing is, but you make a decision not to do it, which means your basketball IQ, your team basketball IQ is not on showcase here. Give you an example. Right? Give you an example. I saw Cam Reddish getting killed on moving screens from Steven Adams.
Yeah.
Killed. The referees wasn't calling the moving screen. Right?
Yep.
They wasn't calling. As a screener, you're supposed to set your feet and stay, not readjust and readjust and readjust and readjust. Nah, that's not, because as soon as the contact happens, you call the foul on the moving screener. Right? You don't call the foul on the defender. What's been happening to us is that we've been getting killed by moving screens, and it's clear that the coaching staff is not complaining about it because we set whack screens and don't move, right? And we get the fouls called against us. We play. Coach, did you get a chance to go back and watch the Memphis game? If you haven't, don't worry about it.
I watched all of it.
Yo, did you see Steven Adams adjusting, moving, trying to get perfect for the screen, trying to press the man?
Oh my God, I can't stand it.
Instead of setting a screen and being still, right? Cam Reddish and Grimes were getting murdered on those moving screens, and they didn't call it, right?
Yeah.
If you
Brunson
Cam Reddish, what I'm doing is, hey, ref, look at his feet. Ref, look at his feet. Look at here. Look, I'm pointing it out. Coach, you ever been around? You ever been around the O-line, coach? All right, I'm gonna say this right, just real quick. When
I see Tibbs complain about this.
Yeah, we
right after it happens. Sorry.
We used to have an O-line coach, right? I ain't gonna say his name, but he was a country boy, man, real big, stocky dude, right? Make me jealous. Like his shoulders. He had like these Dwight Howard like shoulders, right? He come in a big
Jericho Sims shoulder.
Yeah. Imagine Jericho Sims with a gut and gray hair. That's what our O-line coach looked like, right? What he would do every time the D-line on the other team, every time the other team's offensive line would pass pro, he'd be screaming in the ref ear, look at his hands, look at his hands, look at his hands. And every now and then the referee would just take the flag and throw it. They get the dude out of his ear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so what I'm saying is the clear moving screen thing hurt us yesterday. Clearly hurt us yesterday. Right?
Yep.
If you're Cam Reddish, bro, you gotta. I'm not saying complain. I'm not saying be a crybaby. But Cam got hit yesterday, and you could tell his shoulder was, you know what I'm saying? So you got to be like, if you're a Knicks defender, you got to point some of these things out. You got to like, hey, man, look at this dude feet over here. Come on, ref, come on. Don't tell me you don't see this dude moving his feet, man, on this screen. When you set a screen, you got to be set. Steven Adams basically humping our defender. You know, humping our defense, bro. Moving move. You
Ain't
know what I'm
nobody humping
saying?
around.
Get up the back.
Uh-uh.
Ain't
Hey,
nobody
Freezy.
humping around.
Hey, Freezy. Last night, it wasn't just Cam Reddish. I was watching Brunson guarding
And Grimes.
John Morant, and every time John Morant makes a move and Brunson tries to follow him, who did he run into?
Steven Adams. And it's not
Yeah.
incidental contact.
Yeah, and then iHeart does it, and they call a foul on him.
He
And
cut
tech him up.
Brunson off.
And
He
try to
cut Brunson off. Listen, he cut Brunson off 5 times last night. Steven Adams with that screen, and they also allowed a wide open 3-point shot as well. By the time Brunson got back to his man, the man was wide open for 3.
Right, and so let me also clearly state this, right? I just want to state this for the record. I'm not saying that John Morant would not just go by any Knicks player without a screen. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that John Morant needs a screen. If they ISO John Morant, if you saw how John Morant went by RJ in the ISO yesterday, it was embarrassing, but kind of not. It was exciting to see the talent that the NBA had. The NBA has talent, bro. Right? It was exciting to see. Man, Ja went by RJ Barrett so fast. RJ Barrett jersey was flapping. You know how when you stand on the side of the road and a car come flying by, and your shirt start flapping? RJ Barrett's jersey was flapping. I was like, God, Ja Morant fast, man.
Hey, Freezy, I have a question. The screen. Do you feel that the league should remove the screen from the league, or do you like it?
Think about what you're asking me now.
Me personally, I hate.
Wait. Let me. All right. You asked me. You call my name and ask me a question.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you hate the moving screen. It's a penalty. So
yeah, obviously. But this is what you're saying. Think about what you're saying. If you remove the screen from the game, right? All of a sudden, teams are going to have to reinvent offense. You're going to set offense back about 20 years, right? Because you're not just taking away on-ball screens, you're also taking away back screens and picks on the backside of your offense. So now, if you can't screen anywhere on the floor, any incidental contact where you nudge somebody so your man can get open will be a foul.
The game's soft enough.
Yeah. So I will answer your question with no, you can't take screens out of the game, but what you should do is officiate the game the way it's supposed to be officiated. Right?
Yeah.
Officiate the game the way it's supposed to. If the guy is doing a moving screen, call it.
Right. But
yeah, and the thing is, look, like what you're asking, if you referee it properly, like Freezy's saying, to the letter of the law, a pick is supposed to be you stand there and you're not supposed to move. Period.
Right.
So that includes if you obviously you shouldn't be dipping a shoulder into somebody. Nope. You shouldn't be moving your arm out.
Right.
Or you're doing any motion.
You can't put your butt out.
Okay. Because and you need to be there. You can't be there the last second either. Like right before you can't stand there and just block him. Like you have to be set. It's almost like it's the same. It's actually the same as taking a charge. It's the same. You have to get your feet set, and you should be set when you're doing a screen. If your body's not in that position, then it's a foul.
Right.
That's the way that's written.
Right.
So in the end, it's not the referees are not translating the rule properly, just like they don't translate the traveling, right. Just like they don't translate the double dribbling and the carrying,
right,
and all the other damn crap. You know.
Well, clearly the rules are bent towards more offense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And you've seen it, coach. You've seen scoring from each team jump up about 10 points a game from last year. It seems like, right?
Yeah.
You're not used to seeing the Knicks score 120 points a game, right?
Yeah, the Knicks are scoring that much too.
Yeah, the Knicks are scoring a lot. It's something you're not even used to it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And the Knicks are still losing games, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you both this question, Freezy and Coach. What do you think about the 3-second violation?
I mean that's another offensive friendly move.
I think that violation is retarded. I think they need to remove that from the league.
I mean,
That
they put that
sense.
They put that rule. Look, back when the game started becoming popular, and because look, you guys got to understand something. As late as the mid '80s, NBA basketball championship and playoff games were not even live TV, guys. Do you guys know that?
You know, I know that.
Are you guys aware that championship NBA basketball games were on tape?
Tape delay.
Tape delay playoff games. Like you couldn't watch those games live. That's how not popular basketball was. Okay. So back in those days and earlier, there were some players that were so dominant that they changed rules of the game because how dominant they were. And we're talking about some of the big guys, you know, the Wilts of the world and the Kareems and all that. They outlawed dunks
for what, 4 years?
Yeah. It was crazy. So that 3-second rule was because there were guys that were freaks of nature back then, like the Wilts of the world, and the guy they could just stand there and by the rim and just camp out, and no one could score. Yeah, that's not entertaining.
Freezy, what's your take on this 3-second violation rule?
You can't remove it. You got to go with it. Because if not, what teams could do is a soccer scrum under the rim. Or you could just take five of your strongest guys against five of their strongest guys, and just put up a wall like an offensive line, and 4 of your strongest guys could just stand in the paint and just push people out the way, and then the guy behind them can just shoot a 1-footer. I don't want to see that.
That's just my opinion. My opinion that 3-second violation is retarded.
Well, the thing about it is if it's officiated properly, it helps the game, right? It helps the game. It's plenty of dudes smarter than us make up these rules, and I'm not saying that we're not as smart as them. What I'm saying is some of these rules, I may not like them now, I may not like them tomorrow, but in the long run, they help the game. You know what I'm saying? And hey, Adam, I'll tell you a rule that I would like to see. I would like to see the 3-point line move back.
Move where?
Back.
Move back? Wow.
Yes.
Or you want to make it harder for these players to hit
these? Yes. And what that does is this. It doesn't make the game the shot harder per se, because for the most part, guys don't have their toes around the 3-point line, right? If the line is at 23, you generally see guys shoot it from about 24 feet, right? They don't go to the line and get their feet set an inch behind the line. But what it does, though, by pushing the line back, right, now you shoot from further distance, the miss creates longer rebounds, right, and more transition, right? So now if a team shoots the 3 and misses, creates that long rebound, Cam Reddish gets that rebound and pushes the pace, and now you have Cam Reddish and Obi Toppin on a fast break against, say, Kemba Walker. I like that.
I say take it out the game, period.
Take the 3-point line out
think about this sport, but basketball. It's the only sport. It's the only sport that when you score in it, I'm talking about 'Cause in football, there's a different score if you kick it, but that's a totally different kind of play. When you cross the goal line in football, no matter if it's a 90-yard touchdown or a 1-yard touchdown, they both worth 6 points, period.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
In soccer.
And extra point, you could move it back all the way. You could kick a 70-yard extra point, and it's still only worth a point. 1 point.
Same thing with a field goal. You kick a 20-yard field goal, it's 3 points. You could kick a 60-yard. The longest field goal ever is still worth 3 points.
Yep.
Okay. So the same thing with soccer, all the other sports, hockey, baseball. A run is a run. A goal is a goal. Basketball made this magical thing where a shot, I can shoot a shot here and it's worth 2 points. But if I shoot it 2 inches this way, it's worth 3 points. Think about how weird that is. I mean, don't get me wrong. It makes the game exciting, more fun to play sometimes. And it opened up the game for smaller guys to be good,
Right.
But how good was Jerry West, Pete Maravich, all these guys?
Jerry West, Pistol Pete. Whole bunch of guys that y'all don't know too, like
they didn't have a 3-point line, guys.
Downtown Freddie Brown. Downtown Freddie Brown would be a legend right now. Why you think about downtown?
How many games the Knicks would win this year if there was no 3-point line? Right. Think about that.
So I'm all for I'm for the 3-point line. Hey, Adam G, I'll tell you, if there is a rule change to just to go along with what Coach said, I would make a dunk worth 3 points.
Yeah.
Right? Because think about how often you see a dunk in a game.
It's getting fewer and farther between them, honestly.
What's more rare, a dunk or a 3-pointer? Not even close, right?
Not even close.
Right. That I would look at.
I kind of agree with Coach there. If you remove the 3-point line and just make the game only 2 points every shot, even if you shoot a 35-foot, it's only 2 points. I kind of agree with that.
Well, and this is the genius of, and I don't even want to say Steph Curry. It's the dad. The dad is the genius. Okay, because Dell is the one that
drafted by the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, he's the one that trained Seth and Steph to shoot deep.
Right.
Because if you think about the genius of that is the people, like coaches didn't think that, like what Freezy was saying, you shouldn't be defending nobody 40 feet away from the basket.
Right.
But all of a sudden, there's guys shooting it like normal from 28 feet. Like it's nothing. So, and one day, there's going to be guys, if you practice enough since you were a little kid to shoot half-court shots, every day of your life, that's all you shoot, half-court, half-court, half-court.
Oh, Steph Curry can hit 3-pointers from half-court easily.
Like, what's keeping a dude just coming up and pulling up from half-court all the time? Like, I don't know if y'all remember the old Harlem Globetrotters. Like, what was Meadowlark? Remember Meadowlark Lemon? He was the one that used to do them hook shots from half court. He made a pretty high percentage of those live on the spot. Like, it's because he practiced it all. It was a trick shot, just like, how come not more people are learning the sky hook? That thing was unblockable, So there's like these gimmick shots and trick shots out there, which, there was a time where the 3-point shot was a gimmick shot. There was a specialist shot. But then all of a sudden, a couple of guys realized the analytics of the game, and they looked at the data that if you just jacked up a bunch of threes, you can shoot a lower percentage and still score a lot of points as a team. So it changed the whole makeup of the game, guys. Because that's why when Freezy and I, sometimes I know the game was played on a computer and all that stuff, but like the analytics and the numbers can show you and open your eyes to things maybe you didn't think of looking at, and that goes the same for the a player's worth. Sometimes it's not, the stats don't tell the story, but then there's deeper stats that tell a story. So I understand that, and there's two sides to every story, and there's more than one way to skin a cat. There's all these different scenarios out there and sayings that explain this. And it's not like we're trying to find a new way to play the game and change it just for the betterment of the Knicks. But it's something that guys that have been fans of this game, as long as some of us have been a fan, we've watched the evolution of the game and how much has changed.
Yeah.
Because there's guys out there that there's so many big guys that shoot now. That's a part of the makeup of the game. Like that's just you can't. Everyone has to shoot a little bit. You got to be a threat because the game's about spreading the field, spreading the court out and making space. It's the same evolution in every sport. Look at football. We reference football a lot here because I know a lot of guys are football fans too, and you can relate to some of these analogies. The game of football. Just think about how much they used to run the ball back in the day. Think about all the wishbone formations and in the NFL, like the receivers, they used to be in a 3-point stance out on the end. When they were, and even as early as the 80s, they were doing that and then all of a sudden, a couple of guys, some nerdy football guys, thought of an idea of spreading the field out and putting 4 receivers out and only 1 running back, and putting the quarterback in a shotgun, and all of a sudden, that's a gimmick. That ain't gonna work, and all of a sudden everyone's doing it.
All of a sudden,
and then the defense had to adjust, and it changed every position on defense. Like the linebackers had to get smaller because they had to cover guys coming out of the backfield.
They had to cover more. Yeah, all of a sudden, thumping a running back wasn't as important as being able to tackle a wide receiver in space.
Right.
Yeah.
So then what happens? That started happening. So now you started seeing this little running back by committee. You saw these third down backs. You saw these quick backs and all that.
Short yardage.
Yeah. So, but now
pass blocking.
If you look at some of the running backs, just this year alone, in the last year or two, that are starting to have some more success again, they tend to be them bigger, thicker backs that can run a little bit. Your Derrick Henrys, your Chubbs, your Mixons, your Barkleys. Those are they ain't little guys. Those are little 225, 230 type running backs. And the offenses started doing that because they know the linebackers are smaller and quicker now. Right. They don't have these bruising linebackers like your Ray Lewises of the world and the Mike Singletaries and the Lawrence Taylor, Dick Mill. They ain't got these big bruising linebackers anymore that can come and knock your head off.
Yeah, Hardy Nickerson. Anybody remember Hardy Nickerson?
Oh yeah.
Very underrated. He played for Atlanta, right?
He was on the Bucks.
Get out of here.
Hardy.
Everybody played for the Bucks. Everybody played for the
Bucks.
But
he played for someone else too, I think.
Yeah, okay.
But anyway, the analogy to that, the basketball side of that is, all of a sudden, the NBA has a bunch of players that can spread the floor. Every position's a threat to shoot. Like you can't even count on the centers. You got to cover centers now.
Right.
But then here's the Knicks. Our shooting guards can't even make it.
Yeah, we have Yeah,
and we got damn centers on other teams out shooting us and power forwards and it's
so coach, right there where you at, can the Knicks figure this thing out?
We'll hope so.
I still stand by what I said earlier in the year that we have to trim the fat of. There's about 2 or 3 guys on the bottom of our rotation.
Of the rotation, not the roster.
Yeah, of the rotation that need to move on, and not because I don't think they have potential.
Okay.
I just think we need to get what we can for them, and get a more of a team need. We need to fulfill some team needs.
So what are the team needs?
We need 2 long 3-and-D wings. Period.
What size?
I mean, they could be 6'6", 6'7". They got a long wingspan. They can jump a little bit, but they better be able to defend and shoot.
Okay.
But I wouldn't mind having a nice Cam Reddish clone, like maybe a younger or
maybe
younger,
a younger, bouncier version of Cam Reddish.
Well, I don't know how much possible that could be.
Maybe like Farron Hunt.
I mean, give him a chance at this point. Why not?
Why not? Right.
We only got, like I said before, I said it jokingly, but technically we have 1.5 wings on this team.
Yeah.
And the half a wing isn't. I'm not even talking about RJ because I don't even think RJ is a traditional wing.
I think RJ's
he's an undersized PF, and that's or a fat 2 that can't shoot.
He's a jumbo. He's a jumbo. He's a jumbo shrimp.
Yeah,
right?
and so the half
Barrett
wing
maybe is a 6'6" Moses Malone.
A 6'7". I can't say Vinny Johnson because Vinny Johnson can shoot.
Vinny Johnson can shoot. Yeah.
but he built like him.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, and the half is Quentin Grimes. So because he's short. That's just a little joke to his height.
Yeah,
but
he's a point guard, shooting guard, defender.
Yeah. So really, that's what represents wings on this team right now. That's not enough in this league when some teams got 5 of them.
Right. And Coach, just real quick, hold. Y'all stop hogging this microphone.
Sorry, man. I'm in my bag tonight.
No, you're in your bag. No, I know it, man.
Sorry if I'm talking y'all's ear off, man. I feel like I'm making some good points. I don't know.
Man, you good. I just want to say this though. Just to your point though, right? Just because like people say he can guard 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s, you have to take into account how good he can guard 1s, how good he can guard 2s. What type of 3s can he guard? What type of 4s can he guard? Can you depend on it every night? So if you say he can guard 1 through 4, if you say that, we say that in general terms because we've seen it on occasion. But what I like to start doing is take into account, do I want to see, because I think I heard Tibbs say Grimes can guard 1 through 4. He can guard some small 4s, right? Bro, no.
What planet is he on?
No, I think he's talking about 4s like Obi Toppin.
PJ Tucker?
Like maybe he can guard Obi Toppin type power forwards, right? But I don't want to see my man guarding
he couldn't cover Randall.
No, or the Anthony Davis.
Randall will bully the hell out of him.
Yeah.
Now I want to say this. We have to address this. That another main problem that the Knicks are having, they're not getting enough rebounds. They're leaving these teams getting second and third opportunities, and they get these buckets from the second and third opportunities. They're getting way too many rebounds on us. The Knicks got to stop that. They got to try to get more rebounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know what? A lot of that's IQ too. I hate to say it, it's IQ and effort. Because the thing is, first of all, I can't blame any of our 5s on a lot of those because for 2 reasons. Number one, and I'm talking about any of our 5s in the game, any 3 of them. Because number one, half the time, because this dummy coach has our 5s closing out on shooters half the dang time on the 3-pointers, they're not there for the rebound.
Right.
Number 2, because they are shooting so many outside shots and 3s, the longer the shot, the longer the rebound normally. That's the physics of a shot, basketball.
That's just physics.
Okay?
Science.
So when it comes down to that, that's where the IQ comes in. The ball's up. It's basketball 101. We all learned it. Anyone that's played youth basketball or had a halfway decent coach or someone that had a pulse or you learned in middle school, put your butt on a man. Basically. The minute the ball goes up, period. That goes true for every form of basketball that's ever been played.
Box out. You stretch your arms straight out and you squat your knees, get your butt low, and box out an area if you can't find a man.
If you're 15 feet away from the basket, you do it there.
You do it, yeah.
It doesn't matter because I could be 10 feet away from the basket. If no one's between me and the basket, he ain't getting the ball.
Right.
It's that simple. And we don't do those little things. It's the little fundamental things that this is why sometimes the professional men's game, it's an athletes league.
Yeah,
it's played by extreme athletes that cut a lot of fundamental corners because of their athleticism.
Hey, Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says, up by one, need one stop. We had Cam, Grimes, and Deuce. I understand. I think the way the defense was played is the problem. Cully is in the building. What's good?
Cully, what up? But so to my point to that is this. A lot of people try to say it's because our guys suck. It's not. There's so much more to it. Like to just say like our guys can't rebound. Like that's not true. To say like, Mitch is not a good enough defensive rebounder. iHeart's not a good enough defensive. Like our fives aren't good enough. That's not true.
Nah, you got to look at it. Don't look at the box score. Look at rebound percentage. Like when he had the opportunity to rebound, what percentage did he grab it?
Right, and when that's the case, all of our fives rate pretty well at that.
Right. Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says, Tibbs won't use his options. Replace RJ and Brunson. Yeah, you're right. You right, Paris. I mean, nobody's disputing that. Well, the first time I saw, I was like, yeah. I know this is like the comment from the other day. I get it. Tibbs has some issues, right? Tibbs has some issues. But again, a lot of this has to do with basketball IQ. Like, I'll give you an example. 2 years ago, I started to rap. 2 years ago, a friend of mine asked me to say some MC. But not 2 years ago, we were playing the Los Angeles Lakers in LA, right? We were up by 2 with no time left on the clock, right? Basically, the Lakers run a play, right? We smothered them defensively, and then they outlet to a random guy. I think it might have been Dennis Schroeder or something, right? He catches the ball in front of Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose runs to him and doesn't put his hand up, and the guy makes the shot over makes a jump shot over Derrick Rose, and the game goes to overtime. Right. And all the announcers were like, Derrick Rose, what's the point in running out there if you're not going to put your hand up on defense? It was like the shot was uncontested. And you get that from a dude as old as Derrick Rose. And yes, Derrick Rose, we remember this stuff, bro. Put your hands up on defense. You know what I'm saying? These are little things. These are the fundamental things that Tibbs will get fired for, but Derrick Rose did it. Like, how do you go to a dude that's the former MVP of the league and like, hey, bro, you got to put your hands up on defense? You would think a former MVP of the league would know that already, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose needs to retire.
I mean, Derrick Rose still has some. Derrick Rose still has some worth. That's not the point, but right. He's another guy that has to be used in the proper way.
Right.
Yeah. I think
Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says the coach has to coach up basketball IQ. That's his purpose, and I agree with that. So Paris Duggar, what we're talking about too with basketball IQ is this. It's the decision making. It's applying your basketball IQ. Is what these dudes don't do, right? Because Cam Reddish knows that you don't guard anybody 40 feet away from the rim. You've been taught that ever since you were 5 years old. You know what I'm saying? You don't smother guys out there unless you just don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, it's a lead a horse to water thing. I'm tired. I'm gonna blame Tibbs for the things he has control over. Okay, see that this is where y'all get the stuff I say twisted, and it pisses me off.
Right.
Okay, listen, I'm not saying I call Tibbs out when he's doing things wrong, when he's using people wrong, and he's putting them in the position where they can't excel to their skill set. Then he's wrong. When he's got the wrong guys out there, the wrong situations, he's wrong. But what I will give him credit for is I know dang well he's coaching the guys up. He's telling them the things they're supposed to do. He's telling them the proper ways to do the things that they're supposed to be doing. It's because I've done it 100,000 times in many sports.
How you know his personnel is wrong? I'm just asking. How do you know in his mind that the personnel is not right?
Oh, I'm not saying in his mind. I'm saying in my mind when I see it.
Right.
I feel maybe in his mind he thinks that's his right personnel. So
right. Yeah, I'm asking.
That's on him.
No, I'm asking.
For instance, late in the game, like early, like Mitchell Robinson is a detriment to the team. Like shooting I'm talking about as far as when it's a 1-point game, when he goes to the line, he's 1 for 2.
Right.
So if RJ's like that sometimes,
but Adam would say that you're wrong because Adam just mentioned that the Knicks need to rebound better, and so Tibbs would leave Mitch in the game for rebounding.
That is the main problem with this Knicks team.
But our lack of defensive rebounding didn't lose us the end of the game. It was that we couldn't make free throws.
Okay.
Sometimes too, you know what I'm saying? That so it's a catch-22. So anyway, so what I was saying to the other part is, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Okay, you can't coach basic fundamental. Like Tibbs didn't sign up for that crap.
Right.
Like a coach, an NBA coach, shouldn't have to coach a professional player that he needs to put his hands up to play defense,
right?
Or just the basic fundamentals of the game. Like when we talk about when we talk about basketball IQ, we're not talking about them learning their plays and all that stuff. We're talking about the basic fundamental, their basic base set of their IQ of the game,
right?
And you can't coach that up. It's either you're dumb or you're not, really, or you care enough or you don't. Like Tibbs can coach the coaching point till he's blue in the face. But if we're down 1 and everyone's butthole's puckering up because they can't handle the pressure and they mess up because they can't handle the pressure and they make dumb decisions, is that the player's fault or Tibbs' fault?
That is a player issue.
Yeah.
Right. So when I asked the question, can the Knicks figure this thing out? What I would say, let me offer this to the Knicks. Can the Knicks figure it out?
There's too many variables. They can't.
Right. All right, coach. All right. So what I'm getting at is with all these variables, and that's what I was going to mention. With all these variables, is it easier to just package up all these question marks and go get an answer? Or do you take on the challenge of answering all these questions in-house?
I wish we had the answer.
Is it better for the Knicks to take all these questions and put them in a bag, ship them off somewhere for one answer, or would it be better for us to just try to figure out all the answers on the team?
You ever play Yahtzee?
Yeah.
Okay. So think about Yahtzee. Okay. I'm not saying we got some 6s here. Maybe we got a couple 5s. You know? Yahtzee. But when you're trying to get Yahtzee, for those y'all haven't played, you want to try to get, you take out a couple of low numbers, you put them back in the bag and shake them up. But you don't take all 5 of the. When you got a 5 showing and another 5 showing, you don't take the 5s and put them back in, and you can't do it. Then you might get 5 1s. Well, that might be pretty good. And for Yahtzee, that may be bad. But it's just like if any of y'all play poker, it's like you got to take the bad cards out and hoping the couple good cards you got in your hand, you get something that matches them. You know what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to.
I'm not throwing back 3 2s because they're low cards. I'll keep those 3 2s and see
because they work well together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says, no, some guys don't have IQ in the heat of battle.
Right.
And so that's one of our issues. And I appreciate that, Paris Duggar. Some of these cats, they look outstanding in practice, but when the game starts, they look different. Mm-hmm. Right? They look different. And so coach is old school like myself, and he heard this saying before. Some of these dudes look like Tarzan, but play like Jane. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Paper tiger.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes. They paper tigers, yeah. And so the paper tiger thing tantalizes you in practice because after practice is over, now you go down there and you see Obi Toppin hit 150 straight threes. And you're like, oh my God, this dude is tearing it up in practice. And yes, dudes do this after practice. They stand around and shoot and just make you'll be amazed how many threes in a row Mitchell Robinson can make after practice. Right? Mitch will probably make 10, 12, 15, 23 pointers in a row. But when the game start, he might not even hit backboard. You know what I'm saying?
He needs to practice his free throws.
Look at all the jump shots Dwight Howard's making in Taiwan.
Yeah.
Y'all see y'all see some of them stuff? Yeah. Everyone's like, man, Dwight Howard, boy, he got a mid-range.
Yeah. Yeah. But he don't.
The whole league got mid-range, but no one's defending him.
Right. Oh, when the dude's guard you
5'7".
Yeah. Paris Duggar says that's why it is on the coaching staff. It's Tibbs. I think so. I think it's not just Tibbs though. I think it's the front office too. At some point, you got to admit where you may have misstepped and correct that misstep.
Hey, I want to say this. Do you know what I think will pump this team up, the roster up?
Steroids.
I think we'll pump this roster up by this roster watching that J Boogie video. That song is dope.
I don't know.
I think they
professional.
They watch that video by J Boogie. This roster should be going on the floor and play some real Knicks basketball.
Bro, if all it took was music, I'm trading all them cats. Right. And no disrespect to that thought. And J Boogie, my man, I love that joint, bro. I listen to it often.
Oh, shout out to J Boogie. That song dope.
But if it takes a song to get you pumped up like that, I'm trading everybody to San Antonio.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, coach. I got to get out of here so I can do some stuff early in the morning. Hey, what you doing in the morning? You got. I'll talk to you about it.
What time are you gonna start?
Probably about 9:00.
Who?
I'll figure it out. I'll get up.
I'll
I'll either get up or stay up.
Okay.
Hey, Freeze, tomorrow you're going to talk about the matchup with the Knicks in Detroit?
Yeah.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Do you know this is the fourth matchup against Detroit, and we are 3-0 against them already.
Right.
Well, those are third.
We played them in preseason.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the 4 games that we played against Detroit in the regular season. I think what?
No,
we played them twice in the regular season.
We played them twice, which 2-0.
Yeah, and then
that worries me because
you know what that means, Coach.
Yeah,
it's hard.
It's hard to beat a team 3 times. No matter how bad they are, I don't care.
And they're playing us at home.
Yeah, it's really strange to see the record, by the way.
Yeah. So just real quick, man. Can the Knicks figure this thing out thing? I don't know how far we got on it, man. We may need to touch on it again. But I think what it comes down to is a long, hard look at who we are, a good self-assessment.
Yeah.
And then, because the first, Coach, you said the first is Thursday, right?
Yeah, December 1st, Thursday.
Right. So we have about 16 days or 17 days, 16, 17 days to figure out, is it time for us to remake the roster or rock with what we have? And if it's a rock with what we have type situation, then we need to find a guy that can come in and help us get ourselves out of the mud and try to make the playoffs.
They definitely need to make some changes.
Yeah, but anyway, we're going to get out of here on that, man.
All right,
Thank y'all, everybody, for rocking with us. Man, we'll holler at y'all later, y'all. Peace.
Peace, everyone.